Toro Rosso are the second team to break cover this season, releasing the neat video I've already played through for you ahead of this, along with a number of images which we can pore over now. First thing we'll note is the more simplistic front wing that the regulations have driven teams towards this season. As we know, all of the complex outwash devices that sat on top of the wings have been discarded, whilst the surfaces that remain are now much more heavily regulated. The wing features the now default 5-element wingspan, with a continued trend towards the curvature at the inboard end to help control the vortex shed 250mm from the car centre line. The design shown here is what I would consider to be very conventional in terms of the end plate, foot plate and the strake design, but what is interesting is the upturned leading edge of the main plane, which clearly shows the strakes and inner foot plate more flow than if it were not raised. The team have moved away from the raised front suspension wishbone used over the last 2 seasons, a decision driven by the way in which the airflow moves past the suspension to the side pods behind. As part of this decision, the team have moved to the periscope style side pods first run by Ferrari in 2017 and subsequently copied by a number of teams last season. The design reduces the effect the front tyre's weight can have on the cooling outlet and allows for the placement of an array of airflow manipulating devices to be used to improve flow over and around the side pods. The extended front wing pillars used by the team last season that incorporate a number of slots have been retained, whilst in behind it we find a Narca style inlet that powers the now pronounced outlet on the upper surface of the nose. This pronunciation has been made due to the transition bump that's appeared where the chassis and nose meet. This bump is present in order to contain the suspension packaging beneath. The nose itself is heavily sculpted to improve flow around it and drive other key performance parts such as the turning vanes which are connected to it. The barge boards seen in these images are clearly placeholders as they lack the length, let alone detail we'd expect to see this year. Returning to the side pods, due to the change in angle, we can see that the surfaces surrounding the inlet have been carefully crafted to manage flow performance, whilst a single outboard deflector is likely just a placeholder at this stage, with more complexity likely to be added in the upcoming pre-season test. The mirrors have 2 supports, both of which will be placed in more aerodynamically advantageous positions, although the regulations surrounding this behaviour have been curtailed for 2019. The large airbox carries over from last season and follows a trend from their power unit manufacturer that sees them place many of their oil coolers in a saddle position above the engine. As we can see from this side view, the side pods are extremely svelte, tucked in as much as is possible in order that they hug the various coolers and ancillaries within, without damaging the car's aerodynamic output. The cooling outlet has been raised at the side pod's tail in order that they can get the maximum amount of flow through the coke bottle region beneath. At the rear of the car, the rear wing support pylon is much straighter than last year, and at this stage it doesn't have a T-wing attached to it, or the engine cover in front, but I suspect we'll see one in due course. The now enlarged rear wing features a spoon-shaped main plane, and is devoid of the end plate louvers we're used to seeing due to the regulation change. Meanwhile, like Haas before them, they've cut out a straight section into the end plate in the transition region as they look to maximise the amount of performance that can be gained from the new rear wing regulations. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel for more Formula 1 content. If you missed it last week, you can also go back and check out my run through of the Haas VF19.